Hi, I'm Jonetta Roberts, Neighborhood Initiatives Manager for the Louisville Independent Business Alliance. Welcome to the West Louisville Trailblazers video series. The goal of this video series is to introduce you to trailblazing West Louisville entrepreneurs and to introduce you to resources that can benefit your company as you start and grow. Here at the Louisville Independent Business Alliance, we feel it is important to focus on West Louisville and the amazing entrepreneurs that have been in business for many years and are poised to grow. And we want to also inspire new businesses to start and grow in the area so that West Louisville can continue to grow and thrive.
Thank you, everyone. Donovan Taylor here representing the One West and the Plan Room program, which is a business accelerator program, as you said, focusing primarily on our businesses in construction, architecture, and engineering. The whole purpose of the Plan Room is really to build up the capacity and opportunities for our local construction firms to really participate in much of the construction and development going on not only in the West End community, throughout the city, and throughout the state. Really, the Plan Room came into inception about 4 years ago, from a meeting from the mayor, our former Mayor Fisher, that said there's going to be $1 billion worth of development in the West End. And I found that there was going to be a void of having development going on in the community without our businesses participating in the development. And hence, we brought out remove myself from off the board of One West to start the Plan Room program to really focus on our contractors. In 2021, February 2021 was when we actually started. We had about 10 contractors. Today, we probably over 100 contractors that we're working with throughout the city from various trades, and we're really building the capacity of our contractors, really focusing on their ability to land on new opportunities and improve the work in their trade. And capacity building is really our focus. Really, and this year we really focused on our estimating and bidding series for our contractors. Really make sure that they are astute in their ability to do takeoff, estimating, and bidding to land on these commercial projects that are going on throughout the city. And the work through the Plan Room cannot go on without having been very collaborative with organizations like LIBA and another great organizations around the city. As you see, we placed out a few flyers of activities that were going on. Much of the activities that we're going on with the Plan Room is specifically focused on our contractors, but we really work with our other business incubators and accelerator programs, because much of the benefits from our work here at the Plan Room can also be beneficial to other businesses outside of construction. There's really no more, and really we like to kind of marry our businesses together, because really if you're a new business owner looking to build your new business, you're going to have to contact a good contractor. And so really building that relationship is great in our work. We work with our contractors on really making sure they're properly organized and structured for their business, they're properly licensed and certified for these opportunities, that we also make sure they have proper labor and HR with their business, and really connecting them with a professional service provider. So, or if you are a good accountant or in HR or in marketing, I need you to work with our contractors to help them build up. So having those good E2E business, B2B relationships are going to be great. Our partnerships are awesome. We have worked with a great partnership with the Norton West Louisville Hospital Project that work closely with us on vetting and selecting our contractors for that contract. And not only the great benefit from that relationship is Norton has invested in the Plan Room to identify that those contractors that are not ready to be on this current project, that we're developing contractors on future projects with Norton, and they are able to land on other commercial projects in the community if they were not able to be ready for this particular project. So we're really focused on our capacity building and getting our contractors working on a different level to really land new opportunities and really do better business for you guys. And so if you're looking for a good contractor, really contact us at the Plan Room. If you know a good contractor looking to build up their business, have them to contact us at the Plan Room. We're really doing good work and building up the capacity and advocating for the inclusion of our contractors. The whole work of the Plan Room is to really put forth an effort to make sure that here in the city of Louisville and the state, and even making a model throughout the nation of having a very inclusive construction ecosystem that will make sure that all of our local businesses are participating in the wealth building and development that's going on throughout our city and state. Thank you.
He is the owner and founder of HDDS, Inc. One of my questions is, give us more behind the name. It is a minority company that specializes in architecture design, consulting, licensed general contractor, keep going, construction management, construction administration, and I'm sure that you do more, that you could add some more. So we're going to look forward to that. And it's an honor to be able to sit with you. I believe he's an unsung business owner in the city. Many people agreed. Our selection, we've given less than 10 of these awards since 2019, and we opened it up for voting recommendations, and he was top of the list in terms of people who felt like we want to see Milton take the stage for once, tell more about his story, inspire us, receive his flowers while he's here, which is why we have this award going. And we've tried hard to honor businesses who have 20 plus years in the business. And then, of course, that has a heart for West Louisville and why they do the work. So we're going to take off on a few questions, Milton. Okay. If something's on your heart to share, please do, because these are not set questions. When I did some research about the architectural field, less than 2% are Black in America. So that is a very low percentage, and I believe it's even lower in the state of Kentucky. Tell us why and how and when you became an architect. What's a part of your story?
Wow, it's going back quite some time. I got into the architecture arena. It started in Jeffersontown Vocational School. I was blessed to have a teacher, like all young kids. I was born and raised 35th and Broadway. I got into, honestly, I went to vocational school just to get out of high school. Just be real. But I ended up having a teacher who saw something that I didn't see. I was in class just goofing off. So with that, I started taking up drafting classes. And then with the drafting classes, you're looking at someone, which is very interesting. When I got into drafting, I took shop 1 and shop 2. And the teacher asked, if you don't understand how to read a ruler, please stand up and come up here. Everybody's sitting around, and I wasn't going to move either. Then I thought about Milton Sr. if I don't pass his class. And so I put my hand up so I can't read a ruler. So they asked the question, well, how do you make it through shop 1 and shop 2 and you cannot read a ruler? I said, we always figure out a way. And so with that, I had a teacher who saw that he separated me from the rest of the class. I was acting up a little bit, how it is being a teenager. And he started working with me one-on-one. And that's a blessing. And then at the end of the year, he came to me and said, hey, why don't you come to summer school and allow us to work with you? And I'm going, well, number one, you got to be failing to come. He will work that out. And I'm using every excuse I can honestly make. I don't have transportation. We'll give you transportation. So I talked to Milton Sr., my father, and he said, what do you got to lose? I'm thinking it's summer. That's what I got to lose. But what we did was, I went ahead and took him up on it. And so with that being said, my senior year, and once again, I couldn't read a ruler going into my junior class. My senior year, I was co-op to one of Louisville's biggest architecture firms at that time, was Godsey Social Architects. And that's when the career just took off. So with that being said, I started going to night school, became more educated on being an architectural designer, and the rest is history.
Shout out to vocational school. I mean, I did not know that piece, Milton. I thought I knew quite a bit. Kids need options coming out of high school, and also shout out to teachers, right? So what a fascinating story. If you know of a young person, college, 4-year degree, 4-year path may not be for everybody, and look how the path is unfolded. I've learned something new. Give us a flyover. What sets your firm apart from others? I've got some answers that we received via writing, but in your own words, why would someone choose your firm? What makes you distinct?
I think what makes us distinct, I always tell people how I base my business, keeping God first and keeping it honest. If we make a mistake, we'll tell people, okay, here's a mistake, let's figure it out, but this is how we have the solution to it. So with that, 32 years later, that's really kind of still our same motto. But I think what makes us stand out is we care. I have mentors and stuff. Everything I get into, from design to construction, I always have a mentor. And I work for firms that their whole thing was just get the job done, get it out of here. Yeah. What we do is we have a passion about what we do. So with that said, we work hand in hand with our clients. And I tell people, your voice matters to me. I'm not going to take your project over and just run with it. I actually need for you to give me your answers. It's my job, if you do something structurally don't work, to let you know. But other than that, we work hand in hand with our clients. We let them know we care. We build relationships. Because with me, it's not just about doing the project. I've been blessed to have many, many friends, because after that, We still calling each other. We talk, we cut up. It's all because we did a project for them, but we became friends. And with that, we'll set us aside. We have a lot of repeated clients. And with that, it's all staying. I tell people, when you build those fruitful relationships, caring relationships, that's when people refer you. That's when people keep coming back to you, and you just keep it honest.
That is rare. Give a round of applause for relationship building. When you hire Milton, it's just not a transaction to him. So very thankful. And I think Tara is one of the folks that can testify to that. Very important. And if you all have a question for Milton, I'm not going to hijack just being able to ask questions. We're going to have a moment probably in the next 5 to 10 minutes that you can come up and ask your question. You won't have to appear on video. We will give you a mic so we can capture it on video. So be preparing your questions. If you've ever wanted to ask him, he's here, right? We're sitting in one of your projects, so that's number one. But give us an idea of other work that we may not know that your hand has touched in West Louisville and beyond. What are some other buildings we can take note of as we travel around the city?
Well, when it comes to West End of Louisville, we actually have over 30 designs in Park Duval. I always had to tell people the story how they came about. We had a contractor down there who came to me and said, Milton, we can't get these done. The city referred me to you, and so he asked that famous question, how quickly can you turn this house plan around? I told him a week. He laughed. That's what the last guy told me, and now I'm in trouble. That's when it just took off. So right now, we go down Algonquin Parkway, Park Duval. We design everything on the parkway but 3.
Wow.
And like I said, we have 30 other designs within the neighborhood there. Other projects in the inner city, we touched a little bit and had a little taste of doing our own development. There on Jay's 18th and Muhammad Ali. On that corner, we designed and built those 4 houses on 19th and Cedar. We have on that street over 20 other additional design houses over there, just to let you know. And also on the West End, one of our blessed projects where dance on the construction side, we did work on an urban league building. And we wasn't on the design team, and that was one of the reasons I did design and then started doing constructions. We're one-stop shop. So I tell you, we're doing design, we're doing building. So you have the option to come to us and say, hey, do you want to just have design? Are you on construction? Are you on both? Because me as a president, I want to do both for you. But just like yesterday, we was talking to a company out of California that come to town, and we're going to be doing multifamily design for those guys. And other projects we worked in the West End of Louisville, it's been fruitful. Of course, the Gathering Place, 18th and Magazine.
Yes.
We did a container project down there with Terra and for Terra level.
How about outside of West Louisville?
Outside of West Louisville?
Because he can work outside of West Louisville as our Black architect. Name a few. I know a couple, but give us.
Well, we had a very unique project that we did for Napa Auto Parts. We actually traveled to 32 different states and surveyed over 6 million square feet of real estate. And it all happened on one phone call. And the office called me and said, Napa Auto Parts called. And I don't work on cars. I just take it to the car wash, put gas in it. And I said, well, who ordered a part? Well, the blessing was the lady we went over, they had a situation where the building just wasn't working. They had designers from out of town. No one came in and did existing documents. We went there, resurveyed it, gave her a solution in a week. And then from there, it spinned off to a 5-year contract, 32 different states. So I tell people we go anywhere and everywhere if a plane can get us there. And
I love it.
And outside of Louisville, we've, West End, we worked on Liberty Green. Mm-hmm. And I still get that confused because in the middle of the project, it was Clarksdale. Then I'm sitting in the meeting, everybody started saying Liberty Green. I'm getting a little bit confused. I said, when y'all change the name? Well, the housing authority changed, and we just didn't know. They announced it that day. So we worked on that project. That was a $200 million project. We was blessed because we was on both sides of we're multi-design talented. So we was doing mechanical design engineering. We was on the architecture team working on the floor plans with the main architect there. And it spent into 2 years of construction administration. Worked on the Louisville Bridges project, the East End approach. And on the East End approach, what I did was I actually went to the state, told them I wanted to be part of the project, spent 8 hours studying what they can do, and I decided to come up with right-of-way. So actually, one of my workers, she's in the room, who blessed me to come on board with us. She retired from the state. We talked. She came aboard, hired a few others. We got into right away. So with that being said, we purchased all the partials for the Louisville Bridge. Now, I didn't write the checks. I wish I could have, but I didn't. But our thing is, we did all the negotiation. Then we actually relocated the buildings and all the residents in there. And we also not only did approach, but we worked on the tunnel where we put a designer in Pittsburgh. And it worked out really well because he was a Pittsburgh Steelers fan. So he only came home for 2 years every other weekend. So it kind of gives you a tidbit of some of the projects we worked on outside of that. And like I said, Louisville Arena, we worked on that design. We did the facade design with the design team. And once again on that, 2 years of construction administration.
Excellence knows no color. So that's where, again, he can be hired by anyone and not just pigeonholed, but also still very committed to Black-led projects, West Louisville projects. If you are thinking of questions, again, if you can make your way towards the front, we don't have a wireless mic, be right over to you. You make it sound easy. You see how easy he just named off multiple states, residential projects, commercial. It couldn't be as easy as you talk about. What sustains you? What has kept you going? What is at your core over the past 32 plus years?
Wow. I mean, the core, what keeps me going is actually God. I tell people, if you keep him first, he'll work everything out. I mean, just last night had something on my mind, because business, and any other business owner in here knows that business don't stop at the threshold. It goes home with you. You can't stop. My wife tells me all the time, quit open up that phone 2 a.m, reading email, and all of a sudden you're over, so I was doing something I shouldn't have. She was in a good sleep, so she didn't peek me over there. So I was doing something, and I started getting on Instagram, and right there I was praying. I said, God, get this off my mind. And he spoke to me. Somebody posted on there, through Christ all things are possible. I said amen, went to sleep. And what sustained me also is not only faith-based. I got a team of people. I have a team of people who's worked for me in the past, who some of them are here tonight. And I really appreciate that, because once again, relationships was built. It wasn't a boss, it was Milton, it was friendship, and we stay in touch. But you have to have a good team to do what I do. And it does sound easy, but you can tell by my beard, sometimes it gets a little bit challenging. But you keep praying, and then I have to mention this. You got to have mentors in everything you do. And, and I got to put this out there. Kerry Anderson joined us, one of the first Black African-American architects from the University of Kentucky. He became my mentor. And to this day, I can always call and say, hey, Kerry, what do you think about this? So I tell people, when you're doing business, if you want to be successful, you got to know what you can, what you can't do, who you need to talk to, who you need to build a relationship with, and you surround yourself with good people and get mentors.
Now we know the secret sauce. Hopefully you picked up some nuggets. I'm going to mix it up here in just a second. We have an audience question. If you could clearly state your question in the mic, and we'll get our answer.
First, I would love to collaborate with you on our BM AutoCAD certification program. But next to our question, like the field of architecture, Black representation on the developer side of construction is poor. And what could you believe that what we can do, if anything, to increase the number of Black developers doing work here in the city of Louisville and throughout the state of Kentucky?
Okay. I think when it comes to Black contractors, you got to engage them. And a lot of times people, we're talking. We come to events, then it's what happens outside of that event. You got to keep them engaged. And a lot of times, just keep it honest, some of it's financial. And I'm here to say Park Community is here, to help us, because that's a big struggle. And a lot of it comes to bonding. So we got to make sure that we're assisting these guys in bonding efforts. We got to make sure we're assisting, once again, give them a mentor. I can name dozens of huge construction companies out here, multi-million. Get them together, form that team. Let them learn things that they don't know, and things that they do know, but they can do it better. So the answer is once again, it goes back to relationships. You stand in their ear, you keeping those guys positive, because a lot of times they get down. I have conversations every other day. We have our own network. When you got something going on, who do you call? And so I encourage you, in One West, you all doing excellent things. I've seen y'all in motion. I've seen some of the things you're doing, but when you start engaging these contractors, Just build a relationship and let them know, hey, we here for you. Hook them up with the park communities, help them with the finance, help them with their bonding, and understand, even though they got 10 or 20 years, you'd be surprised how many contractors got that much experience and still can't do basic accounting. And that's not, I tell people that's nothing to say that's bad, because everybody, construction accounting is not easy. And I had to learn that. We had to start doing certified payroll, working on some government projects. I had to step back, hire me an accountant. That's when I said, okay, my QuickBooks button just went off. Hire somebody who knows what they're doing. So even myself, I had to hire an accountant who can do things of that nature. And I had to put my pride aside and step down and say, okay, let her do her job and stay out of her way. So those are the type of things I think some of the African-American contractors may need assistance with.
Excellent answer for a lot of entrepreneurs. Another audience question.
Well, I had one question, and then you talked about team, and then that makes me have two questions. So What are some tips for the smaller contractors who want to scale? What are some tips that you would have for them, as well as in terms of building a team? What are some suggestions that you would have for general contractors in order to build a team, in order to scale their business?
Okay. That's a good question, because that's been some of our success as well. We understand there's projects we cannot do by ourselves. For example, this is design, the Louisville Arena. A lot of people didn't know there's over 20 architects and engineers who worked on that project to make sure successfully it was going to open in 2 years. So one of our secrets is building teaming relationships, understanding that you can't do it by yourself. Something like the Louisville Arena, I couldn't do that by myself. I wish I could say, hey, I did it by myself, but that's not true. So what they have to, my suggestion is building a relationship. Once again, getting with that bigger contractor, understanding what you cannot do, offer them something that is unique. And once you get them something that's unique, they say, okay, now we can use that person. So that would be my approach.
Outstanding. Thank you. Two more questions. This is called the West Louisville Trailblazers Award. So let's focus on West Louisville. How do you see the future of West Louisville? What is needed? How do you see it changing? Just what are your thoughts? You've witnessed a lot, but also what's your outlook for the future of the area?
That's a very good question. What I see in the future, we're living in the present, but we're seeing the future every day. When Jefferson County Public Schools announced on 18th Street they're going to do a new middle school, that's the future. If you haven't taken the time to drive through Shawnee Park, they put a boat dock down there. That's the future. They're doing it for a reason. They're anticipating growth in the West End. In the West End of Louisville, some of the development, what I see, you see a lot of vacant homes. To help West Louisville, we got to take control. We have to take control, help redevelop those properties. But you are seeing that. You're seeing a lot of people who's doing a lot of positive things in the West End. I see a future growth in the West End. I do think we need more grocery stores. We're grateful to have Kroger's on 28th and Broadway, but we need more than one grocery store down there. Medically, Norton's, I think they got that covered now. But it doesn't hurt to have a Ma and Pa doctor in your neighborhood that you can also go to as well and go to Norton's. So I personally see, and I'm from 35th and Broadway, I've seen a lot of things happening in the West End. Right now, the West End is challenged, Louisville's challenged. But however, if we all keep coming together, we all keep praying, we all keep working with our youth and working with others, I can see a great future for the West End of Louisville. We have a lot of talent in Louisville. A lot of young talent. We have a lot of young talent who left Louisville for different reasons. Let's engage them, get them back here, and help redevelop the West End.
Outstanding. In closing, what is the future of HDDS for yourself? What can we expect? What's ahead for you?
Well, right now we looking. I'm gonna use a word that an old buddy of mine. We did some development together. God rest his soul. Herb Toller. He's always saying, "Chew on the fat." When he first said it, I'm like, man, what we talking about? That was his way to say, think about it in processing. So right now for the future of HDS, one of the things we're looking at, stay tuned, are doing some of our own personal developments. We hear the cry of some things in the West End, so we're having some communication. So not only we want to continue to work with some of the smaller people, some of the larger companies, because that's another thing that made us successful. I tell people we was working on Louisville Arena. That was a $200 million project. And down on Manlock Court, we had an elder lady who only had $30,000 want to do a kitchen. We worked with her. And I always tell people we do from our house to the White House. And I don't care how small the project. If it's too big, I call Carrie, hey, Carrie, let's team up and get some other people together and let's do the project together. So I always tell people it's never too big, it's never too small. Just keep moving forward, keep steam ahead. My interest now is I'm going to continue doing what we're doing. We're going to continue building teams. We're going to continue working with some of the larger firms. We're going to continue to work with some of the smaller companies. We'll do a bathroom addition, and/or we'll do a project we're working on right now at Wolf Pen Estate at 16,000 square feet. That's a blessing. So the future is where we can do more projects like that, but not only we design them, not only we building, but we would be titled as a developer as well.
I look forward to the future with Milton at the forefront of it. In closing, any closing thoughts from you? Anything that you want to share? I know you've got a team here, your family's here. What are your final thoughts?
Wow. My final thoughts, I always got to let people know I'm very grateful to Milton Sr. Because he was an entrepreneur himself. He ran a barbershop, Haskins barbershop down on 22nd Kentucky. He had his own broker real estate company. So as a young man, running around doing knucklehead stuff, he probably realized by now I was paying attention. I was seeing what he was doing. And so, I appreciate him. And, this the stuff in the conversation we've had lately, in the conversations we continue to have. When you have someone like that in your life, when you have strong mentors in your life, I always tell people it helps to continue to grow. It helps keep you balanced, help keep you leveled. And those friendships, my father, he's not only my father, he's my friend. And that's someone who I can go to and have communication with. It's the same with my family. I'm grateful I have my sisters here today. I have my brother here, my wife, and I'm grateful to have them here because not only they support me mentally, physically, they pray for me, we pray for each other. And I have to put this out there. My pastor, and I'm taking this from my pastor. He always say, sometimes you have to verbalize how you care about people and what they done for you. And I just want to let people know I'm grateful for my wife. Unfortunately now I got a little limp going on. That's how God just gave me a little battle wound to deal with. But I messed my knee up doing something knucklehead, and she has been my strong arm. She nursed me back to health from a wheelchair to a walker to a cane, as you see me now. Just got a little bit limp. And I was talking to God about this little limp. He said, hey, I just gave you a little something to remember me by. But that's going to go away with healing. So I just want to take that time and let her know I do appreciate her, appreciate my sons. During that period, one of my son, Demore, he was coming over helping me out. My oldest son, I just wanted his attention, so I was getting haircuts every other day. So I just like to, take that time and tell them, I appreciate you, appreciate all the help. My brother texted me. So, things like that, I got to take that time. Like my pastor said, you got to let people know how you care. So I'm taking, it's not all about me. It's about family, it's about my team, it's about relationships. So I thank you all.
LIBA appreciates the West Louisville Trailblazers, presenting sponsor, Park Community Credit Union, who make these videos possible.
We are proud to be a partner, proud to sponsor, because we're about helping people achieve their dreams. One of the things that we love being able to do is to provide access to opportunities, access to capital. There's not a whole lot you can do on the opportunities if you don't have capital. And so one of the things that we look to do is to create ways to make dreams become reality.
AMP is an organization that stands for Adventurous Minds Produce Extraordinary Dreams, and we're focused on supporting Black and brown families in underserved and underrepresented communities. Park Community Credit Union has impacted AMP in a major way. With our partnership with Park, we are able to build this Technology Workforce Development Training Center that will impact lives all throughout West Louisville and other underserved communities, but not just West Louisville, but all of Louisville.
We also would like to acknowledge Business First for their additional support.
LIBA is all about buying local and supporting independent businesses. We are one of the largest independent business alliances in the country with over 850 members. And many people know us from our Buy Local fairs and our Keep Louisville Weird message. So we spread the word about why buying local is important, and one of the big reasons is more dollars stay circulating in the local community. In fact, we did a study that shows for every $100 that you spend, when you spend it at a local, 55 will remain recirculating, but when you spend that at a national chain, only like 14, and when it's at a mega online retailer, close to 0. So when you buy from independent businesses, you're really supporting your community and keeping those dollars recirculating. So LIBA is not only an education organization, we're also a membership organization. We are all about supporting those local independent businesses where we want you to shift your dollars towards. We not only educate the public, but we also act as a voice for those businesses. When 850 businesses come together, that's a strong voice for the media, for the government, and we want to be sure that all of our members' voices are heard. So we want to hit our members' bottom line, and the way that we do that is we drive traffic directly to our members, and we do that through things like our Buy Local fairs, our B2B event, the Local Business Expo, things like our printed Buy Local guide, our online business directory, and all of our social media is out there promoting our businesses. We just want to get the word out to the public about who our local businesses are and how they can find them. So to find out all about LIBA, go to keeplouisvilleweird.com. You can find out all the information about why buying local is important, including the study that we did about how our dollars recirculate more when you buy local. You can also find out about becoming a business member. That's at keeplouisvilleweird.com, or you can call us at 502-473-4687.